So the other day, I saw a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace. A lady was selling these two saws. I asked her if they were rip saws, but she didn't seem to know much about them. So instead of, playing the fool, I just said I'll just buy them anyway. Because I mean, was $5 for both, for each, so $10. And you know, I'm glad I did that because turns out they're both distant hand saws and they're both rip cuts. That one's a lot finer tooth, I don't know. And this one, it's a lot coarser tooth. But yeah, that was a good buy. So, I just took my grinder to them. That one was pretty dirty. And I cleaned them up a bit. This one wasn't very bad. Still not very bad. And I wanted to set the teeth. Okay, joint them and then sharpen them. And what happened is, it seems like these are hardened steel. So I thought I'd get out my trusty Saw Set Pliers to set them. And I mean, I've already noticed some issues with it that I don't like. And ultimately now when I tried to correct those issues, the issue that I was finding out was that the spring to hold the saw in place doesn't have a lot of clamping power. And when you press the handle to engage the hammer on the tooth here, what happens is it's enough force, instead of holding the saw in place so that the teeth bends, instead of the teeth bending, the saw just pushes against the spring and nothing happens. So I thought I would have put a spacer in between there to stiffen the spring a bit, so that the force gets transferred into the tooth and not back into the spring. Well, unfortunately, that wasn't a great idea. And as you can see here, right, I broke the handle. I don't know why it's not forged steel. Does that even look like copper zinc to you? That doesn't look like copper zinc to me. That looks like cast iron covered in copper zinc. So that's disappointing. I took it apart, to show you better. This is the hammer here. I gave it a nice filing. I mean, a sanding with 10,000 grit. Well, I worked my way up to 10,000 grit. You can see a better close-up here of the hammer. How crude it is. It's not very well made. Okay. Could be better than that, I think. I actually filed it a bit. It was worse than that. And this is what was not holding very well. The spring is not very stiff, but then if that spring was stiffer, this would have broke a long time ago. And yeah. So I mean, it's a cool little tool. It's a great concept. I put a little oil on it where it makes contact and prevent friction buildup and whatever. And it's a cool little tool, I don't like the hammer very much. I mean, the anvil very much. I think it could have been done better than that. The concept of the tool is pretty cool, but it's not very strong. That's only made for softer metals and thinner gauge metals. So, I mean, that's very disappointing. I'm glad that I didn't buy it from like a local Amazon seller, because they're selling it for like $30. I paid $14 for that, but I had to wait for it to come from China, and now you can get it for 10 or something like that. So I mean, if you got like a regular handsaw like this one here, the ones you could buy at Canadian Tire, not very great quality, or a softer metal, something that's not hardened steel, it's a great tool. But I think it should have been forged steel. I mean, like, I wasn't even really squeezing hard on it. Okay, and it broke. I was surprised it broke. So I don't think I'm gonna buy another one, and I'm not gonna send this one back. I'm gonna keep it. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my own sort of jig to set the teeth on the saws. It's not gonna be something you could put in your pocket, but the most important thing is that my teeth are going to be set. Hopefully I can use it on my Keystone 36-inch perforated lance that I used to cut my firewood. So yeah, there it is. Very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. I hope my review helps you guys to make a decision whether or not it's worth spending money. This, honestly, this thing right now is only a toy, and it's probably only worth $5 in my opinion. In fact, one of the guys that I follow on YouTube there who gives saw advice, I think his name is Paul, an old guy, an Englishman, and he said that you could pick those up for like £6. He said they're generally cheap, so I mean, I don't know, but that his video was done long before the pandemic hit. So anyway, to all you guys out there who are doing woodwork and whatnot, I hope this video helps make your decision. And yeah, have a good day.